Welcome to Tips and Tricks Tuesdays. Today I would like to talk about double tonguing. So if you're like me and your journey, maybe you've tried double tonguing, has been frustrated, you've heard the same old tucka tucka dugga dugga tuku tuku, all the different things, and you've spent hours in the practice room trying to figure it out and it hasn't worked out, then you are like me when I was in undergrad. I can remember spending, I don't even want to count the hours, too many hours, getting frustrated that it wasn't working. And I have to admit, I didn't really learn to double tongue, like really double tongue, until I was probably 26, 27, 28. And so I'm going to share my insight. I've never heard anyone describe it this way, so my hope is for anybody that's struggling and hasn't figured it out, that this could be of help. First thing I need to say, though, is double tonguing, in my opinion, is basically a result of a good single tongue. So it might mean the reason you're struggling with double tonguing is your single tongue isn't efficient either. So when I'm talking about tonguing with my students, I really try to simplify it into one simple thing, which is sizzling. So the most efficient tongue is the tongue that moves the least. So if this is my teeth and this is my tongue, I'm not going taw, 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 or whatever, T, right? I'm thinking, how little can I move? Right? That's the motion. Now, I'm going to back up and I'll come back to that, but I'm going to say the way I figured out double tonguing was actually by accident. I was tonguing something very fast, but I had been working on getting my single tongue more efficient, and all of a sudden my tongue started to basically rock. I hit the tip of the tongue and this, and it just started doing it. And I'm going to demonstrate right now and kind of show you what I mean. So again, single tongue is just that little motion, and it's like I was just relaxed and tonguing fast, and all of a sudden it just started to like rock. So here's my point. With double tonguing, I have found, now again, other people's journeys are different, but I actually found that double tonguing was easier fast. The problem is most of the advice that I heard throughout my formative years as a horn player, and probably just out there in general, is that you work double tongue slow to fast. I'm here to say I think you work it fast to slow. But here's the caveat, here's the but to it, is I don't think my method works unless your single tongue is in the right spot, right? So the first thing I would do if I'm working on double tongue is investigate my single tongue, and can I just do this? Could I just go, right? Can I just have that much motion? Because some people might be going this or whatever. And so, but once I do that, it literally is just kind of relax the tongue and let it rock. Almost like you're going, okay? So again, fast to slow, not slow to fast. And all I might do is go really a couple, da, 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 and then try to just relax it and let it kind of, I don't want to say float in the air, but let it do what's natural. In theory, double tonguing is literally double tonguing, at least the way I feel it. So it literally is tongue here, right? It's literally double tonguing. When I try to do the tucka tucka, I unfortunately what I did is I interpret that as some sort of guttural, throatal sound. And then what happened is I created so much tension trying to learn the double tongue that I got very frustrated. I hated it. I never want, it was the most annoying thing. And so hopefully this is helpful, and this is my point. So if you want simple exercises, it's really just what I did. Right? Let the air do the work, let the tongue relax, let it kind of find that magic spot. Etc., etc. Now, if you, like me, if you stumble upon it and it works, the next phase of developing this is just to learn to do it slower, like a little slower. And here's the hard part. It does sound like da-ga-da-ga-da, taka-taka-ta. It sounds like that. But if you misinterpret the ga or ka as a throatal thing, you are going to struggle, period. Now, I think that a lot of students don't make that mistake. I was an analytical person who went down the wrong rabbit hole. And so again, for this Tips and Tricks Tuesday, I really felt like this was an insight that I wanted to share, because I do think this can help lots and lots of horn players and brass players across the board. So that is my quick kind of bird's eye view take on double tonguing. And you don't really need anything other than just, fast tonguing. You don't need, you can obviously start double tonguing scales and work different exercises, but that would be my first advice. All right, so I'll end with